I could have gone to school, like graduate by the time I'm 20, and, got a pretty good paying job. But there would have never been an opportunity in my life where I could say that I was the very best player in North America at League of Legends at one point. I had the very best esports team at one point. I changed a whole industry. I helped develop a whole industry. For me, it was something that I couldn't pass up. My name is Andy Dinh. I'm the CEO of TSM, and some people know me as Reginald. Every single morning when I wake up, the first thing I think about is, how can I make TSM better? When I started TSM, it was not to make a business, it was to do something that I was passionate about. I had no idea that TSM was gonna be as big as it is today. I had a long period to mess up and learn, but nowadays it's a lot more competitive. You can't just mess up and be alive anymore.
We have a lot to work on, man. The roster didn't turn out as I expected, but I was caught by surprise, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I can't really spend time on regretting my decisions. I need to focus on fixing it.
For this year, I wanted to really focus on our business. I paid a premium for veteran players because I wanted them to be able to run my team for me. I wanted them to be autonomous. I forgot about how TSM has been successful throughout the years. We've been the team known to picking up new talent, amateur or new challenger players, and making them stars with Bjergsen, even with Centorn when we won Katowice, or even with Amazing when we had a huge streak going into Worlds. And this season I wanted to just buy the best players. And that's not how it works. It's not like just because you have a big paycheck doesn't mean you're going to build the best team. And I got sloppy and I'm paying for it right now.
We were going to Vegas.
Oh shit! Did you just play?
Game. Yeah, we won, but it was so bad.
Who'd
I
you
like
guys
the
play
haircut, dude. We played Renegades, but
Oh really?
I think our skill shot accuracy was
How close was the match?
It was fucking close.
I needed a sales guy to sell ads for us on the website. And so I went to a meeting with Jack when I was, I think, 18. And that's kind of awkward because I was like a little kid.
He looked like any 17-year-old. Yeah, I think he had a hat on backwards and like a tank top or something, maybe some shorts when I first met him. But it didn't take long after talking with him to realize that this kid is extremely driven to get what he wanted. Third time I actually met him face to face, he already asked me to leave my job and come work for him. To have this really young man come to me and tell me, hey, just quit your job and come work for me. I've got a wife, I've got a kid, I've got a mortgage. I'm like, absolutely no way, but I was impressed.
He was always asking me questions. He was inquisitive. I would be like 1 in the morning on the East Coast, and he would be drilling me with questions about, how do I start a business? Okay, how do I market this? How do I set up a website? What should I do next with the team? How do I file a license in California? What do I do if I need to create marketing? It's just like, I'd be like, I just want to play some games, Reggie. I'm not a consultant for your business.
He's really hardworking, and he expects other people to be hardworking as him, and he gives credit where it's due. It's like being in a very high stress environment with very high rewards. So the big leagues, I guess.
All right, guys, we're gonna go into playoffs soon, so I want you guys to play as clean as possible on stage, because it's really gonna help build our confidence for the next couple of weeks. Making sure that you don't fall behind in camps by jungling towards pathing and always calling it out actively. For you, roaming, times, mid tower, and buy timers are the 3 things you should focus on. The biggest 2 things I want you guys to remember is the waves, and then when we have a lead, extend the lead. Don't trade objectives. Okay. All right, I expect a clean win, so.
There is kind of a difference in public perception versus kind of like the real Reggie. I've seen him go out of his way to take care of players and also set the industry standard for player treatment.
I think for someone so driven, so passionate, so about winning, like the fact that he has like a strict moral code is something very different. Andy actually does care. People that work for him, that's why they praise him.
You might think he's a jerk, but he's actually extremely good to the people that are good to him. I don't think there are very many players who would say that they were ever mistreated by him. In fact, they would say quite the opposite.
I think the biggest risk I took was just moving into New York and moving into a gaming house in season 2. Right after Gamescom, when we lost to CLG on the big stage, you know, I was sitting on the sidewalk just crying with all my teammates, just sitting there, just like, we just lost after working so hard. How can we be better? How can we be a better team? And we all thought a gaming house was essential to doing that. It was not a calculated business decision at all. I just purely decided to do that out of passion. I wanted to compete, and that passion was more important to me than anything, money, whatever it was.
Reginald was really, really aggressive, and he understood what it meant to be a decisive shot caller.
They might actually be taken by surprise by Reginald's aggression here. And the dash goes in onto Westward. Westward's being forced to flash up, but Reginald follows him quickly. Ignites onto Westward. Westward tries to jump Reginald, but there's the Sonya's hourglass. And Dyrus is there to try to zone Nijaki. Nijaki's going to take Reginald out, but not before Dyrus drops him as well. Here comes Chaos. There's a double kill from Chaos, and Odd One picks up the ace.
In his prime, he was definitely top 2, if not the best NA mid laner, strictly just because he was able to make these kind of calls that would win games.
Near the end of season 2, I realized I didn't want to play anymore, and we chose to go for Bjergsen. Picking up Bjergsen was pretty risky. There was a lot of veteran mid laners that wanted to play for our team, and we turned them all down. It was a huge payout. He ended up doing extremely well. But when I left, there was that whole like shot calling void where it was missing. I started trying to develop the players as a shot caller, and I started recruiting better mechanical players, and we were able to, you know, eventually be Cloud9.
Hey. Hey guys. What?
Taking things into his own hands once again.
Typical TSM. Get towards the end of the split, Reginald becomes the coach, make the finals.
Yeah.
When Reggie steps in, you know it's game time. Like shit's going down. Like we're actually gonna have to fucking step up. We're actually gonna have to like do really well. Our jobs are on the line. And he's very back to basics. He has really good core knowledge of the game, and he goes back to that a lot.
They always take control one side. If they have top side to control, fucking just drop it. Like, if we
Although, like, you know, the community and everyone believes that, hey, Reginald just steps in because he wants to like get all the spotlight and run his team. That's actually not the case. I'm stepping in because I find it absolutely unbearable for us to take anything below top 2. We've never not made it to the finals of any playoffs. And every single season since I stepped down as a player, I feel like they're barely making top 2. This very season right now where we're in the trenches. I didn't put too much thought into building my roster this year as much as I did last year. Right now, you know, they're not doing so well. So again, I have to come in and fix it.
I think this is our best comp. You guys all agree? All right, let's lock it in. Are you guys gonna swap top or go bottom?
I don't know, depends on how your end bank goes.
Oh, really? What the hell?
It's 2 people alive, Bjergsen and Doublet.
I don't know about this. It seems like Energy might be able to
Gotta try! They go for the play on the Conquad, that's 1! Next up is Moon! They're gonna take him out 2! A double kill for Double Lift! Now at 1 versus 3, Bjergsen to save the season goes in! Energy takes down TSM in a chaotic...
sometimes things just don't work out the way you planned it. If they're not taking first in NA, then they're not living up to our brand's expectations. They're not living up to our fans' expectations, so if they go to playoffs and choke, it's on them, it's on us, it's on me.
There's a lot of companies out there that don't recognize how valuable they are and are willing to sell themselves short or let someone else maybe push them around. That's not Reggie. It's okay to say no. It's okay to ask for a lot more and to recognize what you actually are bringing to the table. It's actually amazing to see back in the 17-year-old Reggie, he was the same way. He never undervalued himself and pushed the limits of what he could get to make sure that he could take care of his employees the right way.
I was given an opportunity and I took it, and I was really lucky that I succeeded, but at the same time, I really paid my dues. I put in every waking moment. I want people to remember me as someone that's worked really hard and that's learned a lot, whether it be like a negative experience or a positive experience. I've always taken that experience and I've learned from it. And I want my fans and people to see that things aren't so bad even when you mess up, because you can always learn. That's the way I see things.